It's Sarah with Courageous Color, and today I want to talk to you about first day jitters. So today is my kids' first day of school, and I feel like they are 50% excited and then 50% like panicked. So I wanted to talk about that because I know a lot of people are going back. It's their first day. It could be your first day of school, like elementary school or high school, college. Could be a first day on a job. And so how do we deal with that? How do we create something that helps us to feel better when we're like jittery, we're excited, and we're maybe a little panicked too? So sometimes what I do when I want to learn a little more about something is I look up the word and I look up synonyms for the word. So for example, excited could mean eager, enthusiastic, and electrified. And then the definition was of or in an energy state higher than normal or higher than ground state. So for me, I was like, oh, so that means you're just not grounded. You're excited, you're up, you're higher, you're electrified. That's the word that I was like, wow, that's really cool. So the other thing that I feel like people experience when it's their first day is panic. So you're excited because you're excited about all the things that could go well and excited to start something new, excited to go on this new adventure, start this new chapter, so to speak. But you're also panicked because things could go wrong. And so the panic side is thinking of, oh, what could go wrong? What if I mess up? What if it doesn't go well? What if the things that I'm excited about don't happen? So when I looked up panic, it said, as far as synonyms, it said nervousness, apprehension, trepidation, and worry. I wanted to sort of put those two things together because there's, on the one hand, there's a very positive emotion, and then on the other hand, there's sort of a negative emotion. So excited and panic, or electrified, but also worried. So I want to show you what I made when I put those two emotions together. And I think it came out pretty cool. So you let me know how you like it. Okay, so if you're following along, I'm starting with a 4x6 note card that's pretty thick. It's a pretty thick, like cardstock type weight. I have a very short ruler, and I'm going to be using red, orange, and black acrylic paint. And I have 3 different palette knives that I'll be using, one for each color, so that they don't really mix together if I don't want them to. You can see I'm using the straight edge to make sort of a triangle here. And what I really want to do is make some upward pointing, sort of like arrows maybe, but upward pointing diagonal lines. So if you don't have these materials, you could certainly use just a piece of paper, and then you could grab some markers or crayons or color pencils and use these colors and make this sort of the same pattern that I'm making. So don't think that you have to break out all the paint and get messy. If your kids want to go over their first day and just create something that's representative of their first week even of school, then you could just have some pencils and paper or crayons and paper, something like that, but you could still use this technique. Okay, so let me tell you about the colors while we're still in the beginning of this painting. The red is for energy and excitement. The orange is for caution, so the caution that you take when you're sort of panicked. And then the black represents the intimidation you may feel on that first day of work, first day of school, just anything that's new. So red is for energy and excitement, orange for caution, and black for intimidation. Now, before I started, I had sketched out just this little pattern that I'm doing with the ruler, but you could certainly just mix a whole bunch of red, orange, and black together. You could do a little arrow of each color, so like a red up arrow, and then a black up arrow, and then an orange one. You could make the same pattern, and if you were doing this for your kids, you could make an outline of this pattern first and then have them color it in the colors that they just feel. So they don't necessarily have to use the red and the orange and the black, but if their day was like, oh, I had a green day at elementary school today, or my day felt like pink in high school. So they just use whatever they want, and you use whatever you want. I want you all to be fully self-expressed and use the color that comes to mind. But if no color comes to mind, then I want you to be able to use the color that sort of means what it is that you're feeling. Now I want to finish this pattern all the way to the bottom of the card that I'm working on, and then we'll get a little creative. But I should mention that the reason I'm using this pattern, and I guess you would call this an ABC pattern, because there are 3 components and it's sort of predictable. The reason that I'm using a predictable pattern is that sometimes when we are worried, when we're stressed, when we're feeling some anxiety, or just agitated, we're feeling maybe panicked, then what happens is we don't know what to expect. So if you create a pattern that's predictable, it can help your mind to calm down. And so for the last step of this really kind of cool abstract technique that I'm using, I'm just going to sort of blend everything together and make it a little bit messy, because our feelings can be so messy. Our emotions can be messy. But if you look and see what you've created, you can find that there is something so beautiful in taking the emotions and the feelings from your mind and getting them out. Now, if you want to complete this abstract painting look, if you are doing a painting and you want to make this streaky abstract look that I have here, you're just going to put a little bit of one color on top of another color. So for instance, I put the orange on top of the red and vice versa. And then I used a clean palette knife to pull the black and let it just get messy and sort of run over the other colors a little bit. And that was it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and turn on notifications to see videos as soon as they are uploaded.